What's going on YouTube? It's Alpine. What's going on YouTube? It's
Going on, guys?
What is going on? How we doing, guys? How we doing? What did the market do? Market's pretty much flat. I was expecting a little bit more volatility because of the all the stuff happening in the world, but I guess not. Pretty flat open. Let's see where we are. Trailing drawdown has to be one of the worst rules compared to forex prop firms. Thoughts on that rule? Well, it's quite funny that you say that because I felt the same exact way. If you watch one of my videos from 2 years ago, I talked about trailing drawdown and how why is this covering my head? So not too long ago, I used to hate trailing drawdown myself. Right, so I am not surprised that you're asking this question. Let me just fix this. All right. However, the trailing drawdown is not that bad, okay? It's not as bad as you think. It's definitely something that hurts a little bit, but at the end of the day, the trailing drawdown stops. And most important thing about trailing drawdown is the fact that you have options to go without trailing drawdown. Right? The trailing drawdown is optional if you go with prop firm that has trailing drawdown but no daily max loss, versus if you want to go with a prop firm that has a end of day drawdown, then you'll have a max loss always set. So you could go with Top Step, you could go with Bull Knox. Bull Knox has both options. My Funded Futures is one of the prop firms that has no max daily loss, so that's also a good option, and they have an end of day. So if you hate trailing drawdown that much, you could go with another prop firm and futures, so you don't have to worry about that. There's other options. However, it's really not that bad because it's only there for the very beginning stages of the account. And I get it will be annoying with the big accounts, but when you trade the 50K accounts, for example, the drawdown stops after $5,500. I mean, $2,500 in profit, right? It's really not that bad. And then once you grow the accounts, the drawdown is whatever the account is. Therefore, it's basically like a live account. For example, my Bull Knox accounts, this account has $5,397 in it. I have $5,297 worth of risk in this account, and the trailing drawdown is gone. All right, this also has a trailing drawdown, but now it's gone. So it's really not that bad, except for the very beginning, but it just makes you scalp. But the benefit of that, okay, so the most important thing is the benefits, right? So why does Apex have a trailing drawdown? Well, because of the trailing drawdown, they're able to give us 20 accounts. Okay, because if they didn't have a trailing drawdown, it would probably be a little bit easier to get payouts. If I'm not, I mean, I don't know exactly. I know the static accounts would be definitely easier. Static accounts means the drawdown never moves, right? End of day drawdown, it moves just at the end of the day. So if you make $500 today, then tomorrow you'll have another whatever drawdown you have. So in the 50K account, you're gonna have $2,500 worth of drawdown, but it's gonna be starting from the highest point of the starting balance of tomorrow. The static accounts, if I make $500 today, then it adds to the drawdown. So if I had $625 worth of drawdown, I'll make 500 bucks. Now I have 1125 and so on. So those accounts are actually more expensive. That's why you'll see the prop firms that have that. They're a little bit more expensive and you can only use 2 contracts because it will be very easy to just gamble, right? Put on 2 contracts at the open or maybe 1 contract and see if it goes your way. There's no trailing drawdown. Just let it go and see if it goes your way. And if it goes your way, you might make a lot of money and then it's gonna be like playing the lottery. So all those rules that they have is because they have to run a business, right? So it's a little bit tricky, but again, I'll take the trailing drawdown with 20 accounts. Okay, if Apex had to get rid of the trailing drawdown, I think they would get rid of 20 accounts. And also, there's a reason why it's actually, once you actually start liking trailing drawdown, actually it's beneficial because you could actually take profit sooner and not worry about it. All right, so that's how it's really changing a lot of people's lives. When initially, when you're going from Forex prop firms, you're going from a live account, or you're going from a prop firm that has an end of day drawdown, you hate the trailing drawdown. I was that person. You could watch the video about trailing drawdown and how much I hated it. And then I realized how I could actually use it to my advantage, and now it's just life has changed. So I reached, but yeah, if you have any other questions about that, let me know. I reached 8th day on the PA with the target profit. I can just flip the remaining 2 days. That's correct, Hank. So you can flip for 2 days and you'll be fine. You do have till April 1st to request the payout, so you have plenty of time. What's your favorite tick for take profit? Are you talking about stop loss versus targets, Elizabeth? How many accounts is it realistic to start with? So I'll tell you guys my story and how it made it easier for me. I know everyone's story is different. That's what makes trading kind of cool. Everyone has their own story. But my story is this. I tried trading with futures back in 2021. And then I dabbled with it in end of 2022. I then stopped. So I spent maybe, let's say at max, maybe I spent 500 bucks on, or maybe 1,000. I don't know. No more than that on evaluations and couple funded accounts I did get. I think I only had 1 or 2 funded accounts back in 2021, or even 1 with Lilu. And then 2022, I had a couple of funded accounts, but not many. I got 1 payout in 2022. And then things just got choppy and I decided to go back to stocks because I was trading stocks at the time, but I was trying to do both and I just went back to stocks. Then in May of 2023 is when I switched back to futures, or at least I added futures to my arsenal because I was trading a specific strategy for the stocks, which the entry was right at the open. So at 9:30 a.m., I would enter into my trades with the stock market, okay? I would hold those trades throughout the whole entire day. So I was around, but I wasn't trading actively throughout the day. So I was like, oh, I could trade futures again and see if I could try it again and see how it goes. Well, I did Tick Direct account, okay? So I went right into the funded account with Tick Direct. So Tick Direct skips the evaluation. You go right into a live account. And I was able to turn, I think that account was like 300 bucks or something like that. You pay up front, you skip the evaluation, and you could get paid from day number 1, anything over a safety net. I paid myself to pay back for that account on day number 3. So in 3 days, I got a payout. Then another couple days, I got another big payout and then another payout. So I was able to get almost $3,000 in payouts from Tick in May of 2023. Then when I lost that account, I went into Apex. All right, so I went back into the multiple accounts theory because I did not like that theory. I was like, what's the point of having multiple accounts? I could just have one account and trade the same way. And I went with a couple accounts on Bullnox, and I'm still answering what's the good start point for how many accounts you should use. But for me, my payouts started very early. So I never, besides the initial like $300 investment, I never actually put any money into the market. It's crazy how it sounds, but literally I put $300 in, I got payouts from those accounts, and I used the money from those payouts for more accounts from Apex. And then account 4 and 5 on the Apex got me to payout. So I got to payout pretty early on with account 4 and 5, which gave me $4,000 in total payouts for Apex. So right there, I was in $7,000 in payouts, and I think I had 7 evaluations at the time with Apex, and then I was on accounts 4 and 5 when it comes to funded accounts. So I spent maybe $1,000 or something, and I was already up $5,000 net profit or more, and that just let the snowball effect happen. I did go in a rough patch early July where I did go through like 15 funded accounts without a payout, right? So it wasn't easy, but I started to copy trade. So that's when I started to realize maybe copy trading is not the best thing, even though it took me a little longer to realize that. But I was copy trading a lot of funded accounts, and then I would lose, and I would lose 5 accounts at a time, and it was very painful. And then the math started to add up pretty quickly. So then I decided to I didn't continue for a little bit, but then eventually I started to scale down and not copy trade as many accounts. But the answer to your question is it's kind of like start with the least amount of accounts to get to payout, okay? And then use your payouts to basically fund other accounts. I don't like hearing when people use basically their savings for these accounts, and then I've heard people like, oh, when are we gonna get the payout from Apex because I gotta I need the funds for whatever reason. At that point, your back is against the wall. I don't like hearing that, so I can't advise you what to do, but I don't like hearing that. So obviously I come from a different position because I have my own business. I've been making 6 figures for a while. I've been even making a little bit of money with stock trading as well. So like I was already in a different position where I could put some money into the markets and not really feel it. But if you need I didn't need my payouts to pay bills. Okay, that is the big difference. I've been saying this since the beginning that my goal is to be able to get a bigger payout and then buy myself a car with the extra money I'm gonna make from trading. That's been my goal since last year, and it's been my dream to buy 911 for a while. But my point is that I wanted to make some extra money, whether it was 2, 4, 5, 6, maybe on a good month, $10,000 extra to add to my actual business, to my DJ business, right? It was a side hustle. That's what trading was for me. And this year, I had one good month last year in November. That kind of gave me hope. I did take out, I don't know, it was like 18,000 or something like that in November. I forget exactly the number, or maybe 14,000, something like that. And it was a pretty good month. And that kind of gave me hope, like, oh, I could do $14,000 in one month. So maybe if I do that like 3, 4 times out of the year, and then the other months I'll take out 4 to 6,000, it will add up to $100,000. And I was like, that's great for side income because then I could buy myself the 911, use the money from that for the 911, and then I don't have to touch my DJ business money for anything personal, fun wise, right? The hobbies, the track days, and all that stuff. But now everything just turned around, and now the DJ business is my part time because I don't make $50,000 a month DJing, right? So it's like everything's kind of like flip flopped. So now DJing is gonna be more the side hustle, and trading is gonna be my main income. The lesson you learn is the lesson I'm learning at the moment. I have 20 PA accounts and I trade all 20 at once, but $500 loss is 10K. Well, don't look DS. Number one, the best advice I could give you guys. All right. I know it sounds stupid to a lot of people, but the money in here is tokens. Look at it as tokens. You are not losing 10K or making 10K in a single day. You are not $10,000 richer when you make $10,000 on your funded accounts. Okay. Get that out of your head because it gets really painful when you think that you made 10 grand on funded accounts that you actually made 10 grand in like a live account. Like if you make 10 grand in your live account, you made 10 grand. In prop firms, the only money you make is the payouts. Okay. So I look at these as tokens and I got to get $2,600, 2,600 tokens to get to payout. And that's when I make $2,000. That's how I look at it. So when I lose 10 accounts, I didn't lose $25,000. I lost, 10 times $150, whatever the math is that I paid for those accounts. It depends if you paid 90% off. It depends if you did monthly or lifetime, all that stuff, but just roughly. But I never did more than 10 accounts till November of last year, guys. Okay, I never did more than 10 accounts. I had 2 accounts, 4 accounts, 6 accounts, 8 accounts, but I never did more than 10. 10 came way towards the end of last year when I did the promo for 1-day pass with the possibility of getting a 80K bonus in January if you got 80K in payouts in January. So I was kind of pursuing that. I was like, oh, I'll give it a try. And I pushed myself a little bit more, but I already had decent payouts to cover for that. Right. So again, I didn't need my money from the payouts to use for bills or for any personal expenses. So I was able to reinvest that money and I kept the money in a high yield savings account. So I even made a couple $100 a month here and there on interest that paid for a couple evals. Right. So I was just letting money make money and I didn't use that money for anything personal at all. So all that money was just being invested back into the prop firms. And that's how I was able to risk the whole account and not really care. It has nothing to do with, being careless or anything. It's just the fact is that the risk is small, right? It's just $85. That's because back then I did not have any lifetime accounts. Okay. So it's always $85 a month. That's it. I'd never had a lifetime account. So if I lost the funded account, it was $85 worth of loss. And that's how I looked at it. And $85 is nothing because I paid more money than that per day when I used to scalp small caps. If you are familiar with how trading stocks works, you have to get locates for small cap stocks. If you want to short them, you have to get locates, and you got to get locates early on. And sometimes you don't know if you're going to use the locates, and sometimes it would be a penny to 3 pennies, sometimes 5 pennies per share. So if this, you need 1,000 shares and it was 5 pennies, I mean, you do the math, it added pretty quickly, $50 here, $50 there. And before I even start trading the day, I was already $100 to $200 in the hole. So to risk an account, to me, it's not a big deal. The worst part was that I would have to restart over for 7 days. That was the most painful part. The 7-day process to get a new evaluation funded, and I would lose a lot of time. The 1-day pass is a complete game changer for me. How do you set a daily loss on the Rithmic? I'll go over that in a second. I thought you did wedding photography. No, I do wedding DJing. I do photo booths as well, so that's what you're confused about. I do DJing. Trading 20 accounts is tough, but what you could do, Michael, what you could do, yeah, exactly. Use that approach where you trade 1 or 2 accounts at a time. You make your profit 1, 2 accounts at a time, make your profit, move on to the next account. Then move on to the next account. Because making $200 to $300 per day, you could find multiple setups. If you're an intraday trader, you'll find multiple setups throughout the day. Where if you have 10 accounts, you could split them up in 5 groups, 2 at a time, and make $200 to $300 per account and move on to the next account. Because if you have 10 accounts, right, and 4 of them get to payout, the other 6 blow, at least you got 4 to payout, you made $8,000 and you're still profitable. Versus if you lose all of them, you're not making any money, right? So that's how you kind of spread your risk. How to set up a risk. So if you have Rithmic accounts with Apex or any prop firm, you can't do this on Tradeovate. It's got to be on Rithmic. You just right click on the account that you want and then view risk parameters. Once you click on that, this window will open massively. So I got to make it smaller. Then you go to risk parameter set by the trader. Okay. And then you auto liquidate enabled. And then you could do loss limit. You could do minimum account balance. This is something I recommend doing. Let's say your account's at 54,000 and you already are at 8 trading days. Make this 52,700 so that way you never go below that. And then if you have a really bad day, it will stop you out there because emotionally you're gonna let the loss get even bigger. But with this, it will stop you out, and then at least you'll be able to get to payout. Okay, and that's the most important. Getting that payout is the most important. It doesn't matter how much cushion is left. Getting that payout is more important than leaving cushion in the account. Do I know when the 90% deal will happen? I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. But I don't know exactly. All right, so let's go over my well, let me set this up here so you guys could see it. All right, so obviously the 80% off is until Wednesday. Okay, so that means until Wednesday, 5 p.m. you have an opportunity to get 80% off plus 1 day pass. We'll see what happens after that. All right, so let's go over my week. So let's go over my week first, and then I'll answer more questions later. And it's Sunday, so we are drinking a beer, Estella, okay? Let's go over my week. So these are just my Apex accounts. You have to keep in mind that I do trade with multiple prop firms and I don't keep track of every P&L. I think I want to, starting next quarter, I want to get a trading journal and input all the trades into the trading journal just to see the actual P&L. Because I have no idea. I know how many payouts I've gotten. I have no idea what my actual P&L is so far year to date. Like, I would love to know how much money did I actually have to make to get $138,000 in payouts, right? Did I make 200 grand? Did I make only 50 grand? Like, I have no idea. I honestly have no clue what the actual balance would be. I think it's going to be over 100K because I've lost a lot of accounts that were already at the starting point for the threshold. So there would be max loss would be at 50,100. I've lost a lot of accounts that way. So that's not really a loss. That doesn't count as a loss. That's a break even, right? And maybe I got a payout already from that account. So I don't know how the system sees it when you take a payout. Like, I don't know exactly. Does it see it as a loss? I don't know. But anyway, Monday, straightforward. Monday was a day where I was getting a lot of accounts to pay out and I just needed to flip them. So I didn't trade a bunch of the accounts and I made $2,300. All right, so I made $106 per contract. I copy traded all of these accounts that you see, and then the other ones I flipped. Then Tuesday, I traded most of the accounts, and Wednesday, I traded most of the accounts. Again, the accounts I did not trade were ready for payout. I just needed to flip them. All right, so I didn't trade all the accounts. Plus, I don't really trade all the accounts anyway. But 3,200, so that's 6, 8, it's like $8,500 on just Apex alone. And guys, if you have any questions, I'm not reading at the chat right now, so just hold them off or ask them again. All right, let me just go over to my slideshow and then we'll go over more questions. And then Thursday and Friday were tricky. Thursday, I bailed on the opening range break. I got triggered short. The price missed me by a tick to the target, then it bounced back, and then I ended up getting out for a small profit. couple seconds later, I would have won on the trade, but I just decided to bail on it because I didn't really like it and I made small profit. So I made like 16 bucks per contract, I think. And then if I had 2 contracts, I made $32. If I had 3 contracts, I made 48. So basically a break-even trade, like 5 ticks or something like that. And then Friday, the opening range trade never triggered for me. So Friday's open was one of the most strangest opens I've seen in a long time. And it was very slow. It looked like a holiday open, and I just didn't get triggered into my opening range trade. So did not trade it. I just flipped all the accounts, and that was $144. Doesn't really count. That was just a flip. But even $144, right? That's still something like when I was trading my live account with stocks, $144 profit. It would have been a pretty, a sweet day, just a couple years ago. So, so that's that. So let's go over the current account statuses. This is old. All right, so current account status as of today, I have 18 funded accounts with Apex, and 3 out of the 18 accounts did not get payouts. Every other account got a payout already. So 15 out of the 18 got to payout at least once. Some of them got to some bigger payouts, which I'm going to talk about in a second. Then I have 3 funded accounts of Bullnox. Bullnox is probably my favorite prop firm, and these 2 accounts, I have 1 new one, and then these 2 are uncapped on payouts. So with Bullnox, after 3 payouts, you get uncapped. So these accounts are now uncapped. So I could make $5,000 in this payout window, and I could withdraw 5,000, and it's amazing. And I have some big cushion on these accounts. I have pretty much the same $5,000. So it's 5,000 in this account and $5,400 in this account of cushion. This account I took out $4,500 from, and this account I took out $3,000 from. So $7,500 worth of payouts on these 2 accounts, and then now they're uncapped. So we'll be bringing the balance back down to the safety net. Now I have 2 funded accounts with ETF. Don't trust them. I'm trying them out to see if they're gonna pay me. I know a lot of people ask about them, and I don't trust them one bit. I know they do some sleazy stuff, so be careful with them. I would say go with Apex, Bullnox, Top Step, My Funded Futures. Take Profit Trader before you go with Elite Trader Funding. But again, do your own homework. We'll see. And then I'm getting close to payouts with them. I'm going to take the full payout. So you have to make $2,100 on the accounts. I'm going to take out $2,000 payout from them right in the beginning of April. And then I'll close the accounts. One of the other reasons why I'm doing ETF is they're one of the companies that owes me money. That means I've tried them early last year and I failed. And then I found out they weren't really reliable, so I didn't use them anymore. But I spent probably like 200 bucks with them or so on evals. I've never been funded till now, so I want to get my money back, right? So I want to be profitable with every prop firm that I've used. And then my live account with AMP is at $6,050. I have not traded that account since I've gotten the $2,000 in profit. So I went from from 4,000 to 6,000 on this account, and I have not traded it since. That was just to see for myself if the trading executions are the same on my live account that they are on the live sim accounts, which they are exactly the same executions to a tick. All right, with 1 or 2 contracts, the executions were exactly to the tick when I copy traded from Apex to AMP futures. If you're interested in how to do that, let me know, and then I could explain how you could trade a live account with your prop firm accounts. All right, or if you're just interested in trading Apex with Bullnox, or Apex with Take Profit Trader, or Apex with, actually, I don't know if you can. I don't know if Take Profit Trader has Rithmic. If they do, then yeah, I can. But yeah, I copy traded Apex to My Funded Futures. I copy traded Apex to Top Step. It's been a good time. So let's go over my payouts year to date with Apex. All right, so these are my payouts year to date from Apex. This is a screenshot of just the March payouts, 42,000. but year to date, I'm at $122,000 in payouts. And why is that kind of interesting? Well, I trade with multiple prop firms, right? I like all the prop firms. I think we could take huge advantage of them, but there's no better prop firm than Apex. And I'm not saying it because I'm biased. Okay, I'm saying it because of my results. Look at my results. I trade the same way between the prop firms, and look at my payouts. Apex really is changing my life. These payouts like Top Step, like Ball Knocks, my funded futures, even my live account, that's more realistic what I always thought my trading would look like if I did, become a profitable trader. I would make, extra 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, maybe 6,000 eventually with multiple accounts a month. And that would be a great side hustle. But Apex, with the multiple accounts being super easy to replace when you lose them, look at the payouts. 32,000 in January, 48,000 in February, and 42,000 in March. February 29th, I blew up 10 accounts out of 18. I blew up 10 accounts in one single day on February 19th. February 29th. I was 100% sure that my March was ruined. All right. So I actually did not order my 911 because of that day. And that was the right call anyway. I'm going to order 911 for the fall delivery. The June delivery would have been too soon. I want to get more payouts, and it's a big purchase, and I want to finance as little as possible. But because of the one-day pass, I was able to get to $42,000 in payouts from Apex Trader Funding. Okay, after that day, because I lost the 10 accounts, so eight accounts was with Apex, then I lost the Top Step account, and I lost the My Funded Futures account. Okay, My Funded Futures was okay because I lost the day after the payout, which was great. So I got myself a $2,250 payout, and then the next day I lost the account. So I basically had nothing in that account besides the drawdown that you needed to have. So I was never able to take that money out anyway. So I didn't really lose any money that I've made on my funded futures. So it was okay. The timing was good. Top Step was always annoying. I had plenty of profit in it, and I would go down, hit the max daily loss a couple of times in a row, and then I would lose it. So Top Step, I'm not a huge fan. Ball Knocks is gonna get good now with uncapped payouts. Ball Knocks, I should have more payouts as well. I've just been lazy with counting the days. Now Ball Knocks has a back page where you could count the days easily, but I would miss payouts. I would submit a payout request, and then they would email me that I haven't met the criteria or the minimum days for payout. So I would miss payout windows, and then I had to wait another week and a half for next payout, and it was just a nightmare. But that is my payouts. So it's 138,000, I believe, and it's a little bit of ahead of my 150K initial 2024 goal, right? That was my entire goal for the year, $150,000, and I'm at 138,000. And I definitely did not spend more than $5,000 on the accounts. So the profits versus losses are huge. All right. And then one more thing I want to share with you guys is with Apex, it's the first time I'm reaching 4 payouts on 3 of the accounts, and then one account is already on uncapped payouts, right? So I have one account that's on uncapped payouts, and then I have 2 more accounts that will be uncapped after the next payout. So I kind of screwed myself. I didn't take a payout on those 2 accounts in January, and then I should have, I could have, I didn't. So I screwed myself there. Those accounts would have been good, but I never knew that my accounts would survive that long. But I have 2 accounts with Ball Knocks uncapped, 1 account with Apex that's uncapped. So if I grow those accounts, I could take much bigger payouts from them at the end of the month. Will it make a difference? We'll find out. I don't think it's going to make a much difference, but that is, I don't have a lot of profit in the account. The Apex account doesn't have any extra profit. It's still it's one of these accounts, account number 92. So I have $1,600 in that account. So it's not going to have that much more payout, but I'm going to try to make sure I don't lose this account easily. I'm going to try to fight for it when I have a red day and try to save it, because again, I could climb back and then it's still uncapped payouts. It's a static drawdown. Once you take a payout, it's a static drawdown now. So this account's at $1,600. That's how much drawdown I have, and it's static. right? It doesn't move. It doesn't trail. It's static. That's how much money I have in that account, and that's how much money I could lose. And if I make $200 tomorrow, now I'm gonna have $1,800 worth of risk. If I make another $200, I'm gonna have $2,000 worth of risk. So that's why the trailing drawdown is not that big of a deal as people make it out to seem. And I think that's it for this week as far as my slideshow goes. All right, so now we could go back to your questions. But make sure you guys hit the likes as well. That was pretty fun. uh. Let's see. Apex just announced that, I mean, Top Step just announced that you'll be able to have 10 funded accounts. Is that with Top Step X or everything? Top Step does have to take some notes and make some changes to be relevant again. Their Top Step was way behind. Then they made some good changes. They were relevant for a little bit until other prop firms came about, and now Top Step is again on the bottom of the list for the prop firm choice. Yeah, Top Step X, that's not gonna work for me. Did I try Flexi Trade? No, I did not try Flexi Trade. I don't know if they're legit or not. Gyrix says I'm doing insanely good. So I have been struggling. So I don't know. I've seen some names on here that I've never seen before. So I don't know if you guys are new. Type 1 in the chat if this is your first time you ever seen me live stream. Let's see if there, and then type 2 if this is your first week ever seeing me. So there's a lot of new people. Okay. There's some people that just joined this week and then a lot of new people. Yeah, Captain Price, I've never seen your name before. Happy Sunday, Mark. Thanks for joining. All right, so there's a bunch of new people. So to the new people, I've actually been on a bad trading slump. Believe it or not, I'm in a, I don't want to call it destruction control, but I'm in like I don't know what you want to call it, but I'm trying to stop the bleeding. All right, and I have not been trading well all of March for the most part. Something happened after we hit 18,000 on the market that I've not been trading well. I don't know what it is. I've been reading the market wrong. The volatility is crazy. I love chop and the market, even though there's days that it's been choppy, it's been very rangy. And what that means is, even though it's choppy, right? Choppy means goes up and down. Let's start with that. What I mean by that is it's moving a lot. So even like this move here, that's 90 points. Okay, I'm not used to those big moves. This move down here is 154 points. All right, that's in the afternoon. So like, I'm not able to survive that when there's not a lot of overlapping candles, because I like to go counter trend, and I've just been struggling. If I go with the trend, it reverses. When I go counter trend, it keeps going, and I've just been struggling. So I've lost a bunch of evals this week, and then that's why I was not able to get to 20 evals. Let me change this to NQ before tomorrow I take a trade on MNQ. But this week I lost a bunch of evals. All right, so my main trade is at the open. So basically, if this was, let's say, the open, I place an order to go long and I place an order to go short at a specific range. So I declare a range before the open, and then I place an order to go long and to go short. And that's my main trade that makes me the most money, and it's the most consistent. It's risky, but it's been so consistent. I only lost on this trade once this year. Okay, it's almost end of March, and I lost only once on that trade. So it's my bread and butter trade, but I can't trade all the accounts because I have over 20 accounts. I can't trade all the accounts because if the trade doesn't work, I don't want to ruin everything. So I want to be able to trade and scalp midday. So after that trade, I usually scalp for a small profit. So I'll do between 5 to 10 ticks. And there's days like in February where I could not lose. I had days for 10K profit. I had days for 8K profit in the accounts. And the opening range trade would be, 3,000, 4,000, and then I would make another $3,000 to $4,000 trading each account individually, scalping. But then I went on the bad slump and I kept losing accounts, and I said I got to stop that because it's making my payouts smaller. So right now I've actually not been trading well. That is my point. And I don't know what adjustments I'm going to make this week. I made a couple adjustments 2 weeks ago where I said I'm not going to trade Monday through Wednesday. And then I'm going to trade Thursday and Friday on evals. Those 2 days I did pretty well. And then last Monday, things just fell apart. I don't know what it is. I think evals are just trickier for me because I'm trying to pass them in one day. So I'll make my $500 and then I keep trading. I mean, I lost evals this week that were at $2,800 in profit, and I would lose from there. So it's just been very unfortunate, but I told myself I'm not going to trade my funded account until I could pass some evals comfortably. Do I use indicators? Yes, I use very simple indicators. I use a 20 SMA and a 200 SMA. I'm actually going to add them here because I have them on the other charts, but what happened was I had an issue last week with indicators. So like this indicator wasn't working. This plugin for Quant Tower was not working, so I had to uninstall all the indicators or delete them. So I gotta add them back in. So we got the 20. Red is 200 typically for me. This would be orange. And then volume I don't really use a lot, so I could delete that for now. And then I like the ATR indicator. I don't use VWAP, but do I even have VWAP? What's the VWAP on Quant Tower? I don't even know. Fair value gaps. Daily open high, low and close is pretty good. But it gets the chart a little messy, so it's good to use on a separate chart. Opening range is something that I like using sometimes. So let's say it's not gonna show up from the day before. And it's not gonna show up from the day before. Have I tried ICT? No, I don't like ICT. So why Rithmic accounts versus Tradeovate? The simple reason for that is you have so many more options for platforms, and then you could copy trade between brokers, right? You could copy trade between prop firms. With Tradeovate, you're limited. With Rithmic, you could use Quant Tower, you could use Sierra Charts, you could use ATAS, you could use Ninja Trader. I mean, there's a ton of platforms that you could use. Let me just show you kind of. If you just go to AMP Futures and then you go to Rithmic, look at all the platforms that you could use. All these are something that you could use. I mean, I don't even know. Scalp tool, I don't even know what this is. Is this something that would help? That looks like scalping on level 2 and on the DOM, which is not something I do, but you do have a lot of options. Let's put it that way. But multi-charts is something I always liked. I never tried it though. Obviously, Quant Tower is what I use. And then Sierra chart is definitely something that's one of the best. eSignal. I didn't know eSignal allowed. You're gonna get 10K payout this month? You sure about that, or that's your goal? And that's not bad. Good luck on that. That's the dream. 10K is definitely a good goal. But if you don't get there, don't be, disappointed. My goal for April, we'll discuss next week maybe if I'm on. Next week's Easter, so we'll see if I'm on. But my goal for April will be 60K. Just try to help with view up. Hope it helps. I did not see. NKM features. Can I make $1,100 a day on the 50K account for 10 days and still be under 30% consistency rule? Guys, the consistency rule is kind of still very confusing to a lot of people. I don't know why. HID, I'll check it out. I don't know why people are so confused about the consistency rule. Some guy texted me. Some guy commented on my channel yesterday saying limiting your biggest day is a scam. I'm like, dude, there is no maximum day you could have on consistency or with Apex or any prop firm that has consistency. If you want to make 30K in a day, just make sure you have 100K in that account when you request a payout. That's all it is. You're not limited to what you can make. It's just you got to make it consistent, right? So if you want to make $30,000 in one day, make sure that over the 10 days you make 100,000. A smaller example is you want to make. You don't even have to be consistent because you can make $3,000 in a day, and then you got to make $7,000 for the next 9 days. You make $3,000 in one day, and then 7,000 in the next 9 days. So that's not consistent, but that's within the 30% consistency rule. So you had a huge day, and then the next 9 days are smaller, but you're good. Adolfo, please stop spamming. Bum, bum, bum. Like, if you want to know what your biggest day can be, then do a hypothetical scenario, right? So like, all right, what if I get my accounts to 5K, right? That's how I do it. All right, if I get my accounts to 5K, what could be my biggest trading day? So I take 5,000 and I multiply that by 0.3 and I get 1,500. So if I want to make 5K in the accounts, my biggest day could be 1,500. So what I do is I try not to go over 1,000 because I know what my average is when I take a payout. It's a little bit over $3,000 in the accounts. So if I make 1,000, as long as I have $3,300 in the account, I'm fine. But again, it's not black and white. It's not a cutoff. If you're at 35%, they're not going to cut you off as long as you're consistent. If you trade for, let's say you make $5,000, right? Let's do this on let's do this on this PowerPoint. Let's say you make $5,000 total. So $1,500 could be your biggest day. If you make, let's say $1,700, you make $500, make $300, you make $500. That's 2, 3. Then you make $800. Then you make $200. Then you make $1,000. Is that 5,000? I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So right there, it's a pretty consistent 7 days, but you got to trade for 8 days. So next day, you just make $200. So you'll be at, so let's make this 800 then. Or make this 7. And this 300. That's 8 days, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then the next 2 days, you can make $5 and $5. Just flip. So in this case, this day is a little bit over. It's a little bit over 30%. Most likely you're gonna get approved, right? You were pretty consistent. So you had a bigger day, and you went over 30%. But you're most likely gonna get approved. It's not that big of a deal, especially if you don't flip the 2 days. If you make another 300 here, you make another 200 here. Now this should be, so now this is 5,000. So this is right there, 8 days is 5,000. So 1,700 times 3.33. So you're supposed to, with $1,700 a day, you're supposed to be at 5.6K. Okay, that's 30%. But if you're at 5K in 8 days, if you're nervous and you don't know if you're gonna get approved, then trade for 2 more days and make, $600 or $500, and you're gonna be very close, and you're gonna get approved. I think what they don't like seeing is you make $1,700 one day, then you're gonna make 12 or 1,400 the next day, and then you're gonna make 100, 200, 150, stuff like that. I don't think they want to see it that way. That's when they're going to be like, all right, well, he's not really consistent. He's not really flipping, but they might deny you a payout that way if you're over 30%, because you're going to be over 30% here. So you have to be very careful. If you trade for 10 days and you're over 30%, they're going to approve you. It's just when people try to make the payout in 2 to 3 days and then flip the rest, flip by like making $50-200, way different than what they make on the big days, then that's when it kind of raises the red flag, and Apex will dive in and actually break down your trading. The consistency does not apply in evaluations. Evaluations, you could YOLO, you could play news, you could gamble, you could do whatever you want. What's the buffer amount on the PA? There is no buffer on the PA because it depends what PA you get. Let's say it's 25K, you don't have any buffer. On the 50K, you'll have, if you make the minimum required for a payout, you'll have $500 left in the buffer. So you just got to look at what the threshold is versus what you could get paid. But you could build your own buffer, like you could build your own, whatever you want to make in the account before you take a payout, you can. People who trade 830 YOLO better have news consistently trading. Well, Captain Price, I don't think you're going to be able to trade PA accounts on CPI without getting questioned. I think if you're going to trade news, you should trade smaller news. Yeah, it's like wiggling your mouse at work so you don't log out for an activity. Yeah, exactly. They don't want you just getting through it. If you are a trader that thinks you can make big profits and get a payout 1 or 2 days, then go with Take Profit Trader or go with My Funded Futures, or even Tick. But Tick has a consistency rule now. How many points of a stop loss do I use in my open trade? I don't use a stop loss. Only on my live account I use it. But my Top Step account was doing well with it. If I didn't take payouts from Top Step, it would have been fine. So Top Step was $1,000 loss, and I would take 3 contracts or 2 contracts. So that's like 50-point stop or 30-point stop loss, right? Because on Top Step, it's an automatic stop loss. So there was times where I would lose on Top Step, but I would win on the trade, right? So that's like the benefits of it. It's such a high win ratio that using a stop is almost silly since there is no risk on the line. How do you only make $5 in day 9 and 10? You could just open and close a micro contract, or even open and close a mini contract. Halmo, you probably heard wrong, and you probably didn't hear the whole story from the traders. Apex does not deny for few second scalps. They will deny you for news trading, because during the news you're not trading the same way you are. If you trade small news and if you make $200 a day and you make $200 in news, they're not going to question it. If you trade $200 a day and then you make $2,000 on news, they might question it. Or if you trade, I don't know, someone said that they were making their normal profits on news, like they would do without news, and they got questioned. So I don't know exactly. The best thing is to not trade the news, the big news, right? The CPI, the PPI, the non-farm payrolls, and the FOMC. Don't trade those 4, and you should be fine. The smaller news events, the existing home sales. I can't even think of the news events right now, which reminds me to let's go check on the news this week, because I do like trading the news if it's not major news. Let's see if we can find an example. Okay. All right. New home sales tomorrow. I don't know if that's going to move the market enough. But that's something to keep in mind. Anything that's bold, I like to keep in mind. Like this red news, like durable goods. If you trade this on Apex, are they going to really care? Probably not. If you trade the auctions, they're probably not going to care. Crude oil, that's like tier 1 news, so you got to be careful with that. GDP growth, I like that. Pending home sales, and then personal income. So all these news are pretty like I know like job openings next week. That's gonna be good. So there's a lot of good news that you could trade for, you know, quick profit or as part of your, you know, momentum trade. That's not tier 1 and it's not gonna be really that big of a deal. CPI, you have no control over your orders. I mean, it just goes and you have no way of getting out, and you're gonna make way bigger profit than you want to when it works. Oh, let's see. Non-farm payrolls is huge. That's like one of the, yeah. Non-farm payroll, CPI are the two biggest ones. PPI is more manageable, but still violent. Could Apex move you to a live account at some point? Yes. Yep. Luckily, Apex allows you to make close to $1 million before they put you live. So I hope that is the case for me as well. Because a lot of times the traders that make $1 million with Apex make it really quick. So they make it in 3 months and they get put, you know, they get asked to go live. Most people say no and they move on. For me, I'm taking a longer roads to that, you know, million, whatever it's gonna be. So I wonder if they're gonna let me to get to $1 million, or are they gonna say at 500K, all right, no more, and that's it, and you gotta move either to live or you gotta close your accounts, and then you can't trade with us for a while. I think it's 6 months or a year you can't trade with Apex when they ask you to go live. I am also not very consistent, so I do lose my accounts quite often, right? So maybe that's gonna benefit me with that. Maybe they won't ask me to go live as soon as some other traders that have, you know, 200K in their accounts. What is the benefit of going live? There is none. The only benefit of going live is on your own. When you go live on your own, you have a lot of benefits. For you, going live with the prop firm, there is none at this moment. Maybe eventually if they do the tax benefits to the trader, then maybe it's worth it. Right now, there is no 60-40 tax rule when you trade with the prop firm like Apex. Earn to Trade is the only prop firm that I know of that when you go live with them, they do the 60-40 profit split. I mean, 60-40 profits, the 60-40 tax advantage split. So 60% of your profit is long-term capital gains and 40% is ordinary income or short-term capital gains. That is correct, Ghost Bear. You could be a total degen and it's fine. Can you tell Apex no? Yeah, of course, you could decline. Have I thought about creating an LLC for my trading for tax benefits? Yes. So I just did my taxes, and the only way to have tax benefits with an LLC for trading with prop firms is if you do an S corp, which is a complicated way of doing things. So I'm not gonna get into it. Obviously, if you are in the US and you are a 1099 subcontractor, you do not need an LLC for tax benefits. You get the same tax benefits as 1099 on your personal name as you do on an LLC. There's no difference. You could write off your evals. You could write off your PA fees. You could write off your internet. You could write off your computer. You could write off your home office. Doesn't matter if you have an LLC or not. Daryl Martin isn't calling up bad traders. That's my hope that that'll call me up. I just don't know. For me, they would just say like, listen, we're gonna put him live. He's making money all the time. Let's put him live. It's probably not gonna work for us, but at least we won't have to deal with his payouts. Maybe that's how they're gonna look at it. Like they know they're not gonna make money with me live, but at least if I fail on the live or I decline to go live, they'll basically get rid of me for 6 months or a year. What major topic would you say to research and study? I like price action the most. I don't really pay attention to any fundamentals or anything that's, news related. But I like to watch different content, that's for sure. Like there's a couple of YouTubers that I like to watch, or coaches, whatever you want to call them, to kind of get, like I'm gonna watch when I get off tonight from the stream. I'm gonna watch some Oliver Velez videos. Not even to like use his system, because I don't think you could copy anyone's system. I think it's just to mentally prepare myself for tomorrow. What trade copier do you recommend? I recommend Quant Tower. And Quant Tower is a free trade copier with this platform, which is Quant Tower. So it comes in built in. It's built into the software and it's free. The only time it's not free is if you want to copy trade between prop firms. So I'm able to copy trade between Apex, Bullnox, Elite Trader Funding, My Funded Futures, Tick Tick, Top Step, even my own personal account. Okay. That is the beauty of it. Whether you want to copy trade between these prop firms or not does not matter. But this is an Apex chart, right? This is a Bullnox chart, so I could just do this. So here I have Bullnox, and here I have my Apex account. So I am logged into both accounts, and I don't have to log out. I don't have to do different platforms. I could just trade multiple accounts, and it's a huge benefit. I also have the level 2 data for Apex, so don't really use it, but I do have it. Yes, I'm using Rithmic data for all the prop firms. Because you can only copy trade between Rithmic. You can't copy trade between Rithmic and CQG. Does Apex use Tradeovate or MetaTrader? Apex uses NinjaTrader, Quant Tower, or if you want to go with Tradeovate, you can as well. Not MetaTrader though. MetaTrader is usually 4x. How much is Quant Tower a month? It's free for basic stuff, so you could try it out for free. You could also do a 7-day trial with all the features. But if you're not going to copy trade between prop firms, then it's basically free unless you like a lot of indicators. If you like a lot of indicators, then you got to pay. And I recommend the advanced features license, which is $25 a month. If you do monthly, it's $20 a month if you do 6 months at a time. And you can use my code Alpine, you get 10% off. Do you recommend getting a Bullnox account to get extra features on Quant Tower? You don't get extra features on Quant Tower that I know of. Where did you hear that, Emma? How much do I pay monthly for all the accounts? A lot of the accounts are lifetime, so I don't pay much. Some are, I could do the math. I don't know. Let's see. What benefits does the prop firm get from letting traders go live? There's a couple things. First, they'll get to do a real profit split, right? So there's no profit split when you trade a sim account. When you profit split in a live account, they actually get to take some profit from you. So they get commission. Number two, it makes them look more legit, right? In the eyes of the regulations that they have live traders that make money from. That's also a part of it. All right, so let's see. Let's go down the line here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have 10 accounts at lifetime that I've had for a long time. And then I have 8 accounts, $85 a month. So $85 a month times 8 is 680. And then my ETF accounts are also $80. So that's 160. So right now it's $840 a month for all the accounts I have. The rest haven't paid off. If you have a level 2, try to add an indicator called level 2 and check the box pin to price scale. Okay. Indicator level 2 pin to price. And then what else should I change? Make account 100. Then what does this calculate? All the sellers above and then buyers below? That's pretty cool. I do like that. Thank you, Zach. Appreciate that. Someone's saying something. Surfskate. Yeah. So obviously there's a lot of regulations going on with the Forex prop firms. So in the US, they're kind of shutting down because it's not legal to trade CFDs. But I don't think they're dead. I think in the rest of the world they're doing fine. The only thing I want to do is I want to change colors. How do I get the line? Oh, like that. Okay. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. Can't wait to see this tomorrow. Zach, I want to thank you a lot for that. What do I think about ETF? Are they good? No, not really. I don't like them. I know they shut down big traders. I wouldn't be confident with them trading big accounts. I have 2 accounts with them that I'm trying to get to payout, and I'm getting close. I'll get a payout with them. I think. Let's see how many days I'm with them. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, I'm on day 9, and I gotta get to um gotta get to 15 days. I don't think they have a flipping rule. So 15 days. So we got 4 days this week. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it'll be 13, 14, 15. So on the 3rd of April, I'll be able to request a 4K payout. Zach, I appreciate that. Yep. Yeah, I'm able to read it pretty well. And then you'll be able to see like the traps, you'll be able to see the cover orders. Obviously, you don't get to see the market orders, you only see limit orders, but that's basically like a huge, it's much easier to read that than to read this. I'm not trying ICT, no thank you. Until ICT shows me his payouts, I'm not trying him. I'm just not a fan. That's all. DK Ken, good point. Yeah, tomorrow's gonna be interesting. You might need a license as well because you're gonna be limited to some indicators. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna help me in any shape or form, but I'm gonna have to get used to it, see how it plays out, and see if there's something to it. I'm just waiting for the 90% off 1 day pass to get to 20 PA accounts. Yeah, but make sure that you're working on PA accounts now, right? It's 80% off. Get 2 accounts to pay out. That $4,000 could pay for a bunch of accounts. Because you don't want to just go right into 20 accounts because it's most likely not going to obviously work. It could work, but it's going to be tough. So work up to it. I only see 1 green bar and 1 red bar with the level 2 indicator. Yeah, because you do not have level 2 data. So if you're with Apex, you would actually have to go and pay for in-depth market. So it's called market depth, and then you gotta pick CME. It's only like, I can't show you because it says I already have an active one, but it's only $10. Here, it's only $10. Why does he need to trade other strategies if he's making money on his own strategy? I think most people that are successful trade their own strategy. Like, look at Matt. Trades by Matt. He trades his own style, right? I mean, he just started making money with Apex. It's easier. But for me, it's also like I'm taking advantage of the prop firm model. I wouldn't be able to make this kind of money as a trader without prop firms. So I'm not denying that. I know that for a fact. I would be maybe be able to make 5 to 10 grand a month, but not 50 to 100K. I'm gonna have 100K a month this year, I think. If everything lines up perfectly, there's gonna be a month where I make 100K. Do you just trade the Qs or other markets as well? Just the NQ, yeah. I tried YM, I tried oil. What's up? I always said that myself. In 2020 when my business got shut down, I was like, damn, if I could just make 5K a month, that would be life-changing. But you can't look for 100K a month if you can't get 10K a month first, right? Look how my payouts looked like last year. I mean, I don't know if I could find. Let's see if I could find a screenshot of it somewhere. I don't know where the screenshot would be. I basically had a screenshot of my payouts from last year, like broken down. Actually, I know where it is. Hold on. I know I posted it on YouTube. Look at my payout last year with Apex. See? 4,000, 2,000, 14,000, 8,000, 5,000. That's you have to get there first before you could get to the 20K, 30K, 40K months. I think too many people try to get to 20K, 40K, 80K a month too fast, and they end up losing too much. And then by the time they get to the first payout, they're just breaking even, or they're already are ready to give up because they spent too much money. Luckily for me, it's been an amazing journey with prop firms, but you gotta factor in that I traded for 6 years prior to that with stocks, and I got my ass beat many times, and I was always able to make money. I just could not keep it. I feel like gold gets gold gets very stale very quickly. What time is gold open? I've actually never traded gold. 820. So 812. So there's like not enough volatility at the open. Is it true that Trades by Matt just did 80K a month, 80K a month on Apex? Yep. That kind of shows you how amazing Apex really is, because Matt's been with Top Step for all this time, and he was not able to get a payout, and a couple months with Apex, and he's making 80K in a month. Oh, so see, this is what it would look like without level 2, because right now I'm on Bullnox. On Bullnox, I do not have level 2. I just have level 1. So you see, you can only see the bid and the ask. You can't see the actual. So that's very, very cool kind of breakdown. But yeah, this is awesome. I really like this. I just don't know if it's gonna help me in any shape or form, but just having it up here, it's really, because I'm used to trading with level 2. Can you explain how QQQ is connected to NQ E-mini futures? It basically trades the same way. So TQQQ and SQQQ are the ETFs of QQQ, and NQ is basically the, I don't know what you would call it. It's the futures version of QQQ. It's exactly the same chart. So it actually trades the same. NQ is just way more volatile. But if you compare 1 minute chart of NQ to QQQ, it's going to look exactly the same. Hit the like button for me, guys. Hit the likes. We got 354 people watching on a Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening or Sunday morning for all my East Coast. Ugh. Right? It's 8 o'clock in China and Australia in the morning. How do you trade the markets in the eastern part of the world? We don't know why I watch Oliver Velez. I think like all the guys are kind of scammy, so I don't really put too much weight into it. I just like some of his concepts, but it's not like a holy grail. I don't think he's a scam, but I also don't think he trades the same way he talks about trading. What is the difference between level 2 and level 1? Level 1 is just a bid and an ask. So on level 1, you get to see this. The buyers and sellers at the top of the book right there. So your bid versus the ask. That's your spread, right? Right now there's 3-tick spread. When you have level 2, so that's level 1. That's why it's called level 1, because it's the first level. Level 2, you could see all the below orders. So these are all the people waiting on the bid and on the ask. Obviously, this does not include the people that get in and out on market, but this shows all the people that are waiting. So if I placed an order here, if this was a real market, that order would show up there. Obviously, one contract ain't gonna do much, but I have a live account, right? So if I go to my live account, so if I go to my live account and I place an order, let's say at 582, right here, let's see if we could see anything, but I doubt it, but you see that, guys? Did you see that? My order really affected the market there. Let's go to like an order that's like very thin. All right, 581 and a quarter and 3/4. So I place an order here. Did you see that pop up there? Watch, I'm gonna cancel it. It actually changes. I don't know if that's me. Let's try 6. Zoom in. How can I zoom in? Like this? All right, so let's go to like 573.75. I'll place an order there. Yep, see that right there? That's me. I'm gonna cancel it. See that? Wow, this is a great teaching example, guys. Someone that doesn't know how to level 2 works. Okay, 572.75. That doesn't have any orders on there. 72. I think it was 75, right? I'm gonna place an order for 5 contracts. Boom. Appears right there. I'm gonna cancel it. Watch. Disappears. That is the difference between trading a live account and sim accounts. When you trade on a sim account, that does not get affected. That's why having an edge in the markets, you don't give out the edge. That's why the people that are teaching you typically don't have a true edge. Because the traders that have a true edge, they have their mouth shut because they know if they give out the edge, it will ruin the edge. That's why you'll never hear about the best traders. Yeah, when you move to level 2, you're risking real money. That's a good point, Badge. Someone said the open is my money maker, and then no, Vag, that's not my demo account. That's my live account, dude. That's what I'm saying. No, you got that whole thing wrong. This is a live account. This is an actual live futures account. That's why the orders, when I place them, they show up on the level 2 right there. See that? Right. Look at this level here, and I'm gonna cancel. Disappeared. This is a live account. If I place these orders on Sim, I could go to 10 contracts. If I place an order, let's say right here, nothing's gonna happen. No one is adding to the market. Right now, the liquidity is very low, Johnny B. Your orders won't show up as... Yeah, of course, the sim accounts won't show, but that's why BadgeD was saying, like, they're copy trading me. That's why it's showing up. But right now, the liquidity is very low. That's why you're able to see it. When the market has super high volume, your 2 contracts are not going to really matter. Right now, it matters because the liquidity is low. You can control the whole market right now? Yeah, so that's how it actually works in small cap stocks. In small cap stocks, people buy the whole float and they screw everyone over. That's how, like, have you guys ever heard of Zach Morris? That's how this guy scammed so many people. He would buy the stock, he would pump it, and then people would buy it, and then he would sell into their orders. I don't know how he got away with it. They just closed the lawsuit, and yeah. Warrior Trading is nothing in comparison to Zach Morris, Captain Price. Yeah, I don't know how their case got dismissed. It's crazy. They must have paid a lot of money. How does Apex make money? Very simple. Most traders lose money. Most traders do not get to payouts. How do I make money? Apex pays me from people that lose money. So if we I actually talked about this recently. I don't know if this is accurate. So 90% of traders lose, and I think 100% of traders lose initially, right? So in the beginning, before you actually get to payout, you're gonna lose a little bit. So how I'm able to get paid when I'm profitable is the same way an insurance company could pay me out a claim if my car gets totaled or something happens, you know, again, an accident, or your bumper falls off because you hit a pothole and the bumper falls off, or you cracks your windshield. You know, your insurance is gonna pay you because everyone's paying insurance, so they have enough money to pay you. So it's the same thing as how Apex works and all these prop firms. Unfortunately, trading is hard. If it was easy, everyone would do it. But it doesn't mean it's not possible. Oh, sports betting, I hate. I hate sport betting. How much does an contract cost on a live account through a broker? Daryl, do you mean how much money do I need to have in the account to open up one contract, or how much do the commissions cost? I could answer both questions, really. So with a live account, like on this account right here, I have $6,000, right? So let's see if it lets me take 6 contracts. I could do 5. Let's see if I could do 6. I don't know if I could do 6. I should be able to. Yeah, so it lets me take 6 contracts, okay? It won't let me take 7, right? You hear that? It won't take me like 7, but it lets me take 6. That means for every $1,000 you have in your account, you could take one. Sorry, my lunch. So for every $1,000 in this account, you could take 1 contract. However, if I take 6 contracts right now and I go down below $6,000 in my account, they're gonna liquidate me, okay? Or they're gonna liquidate me to 5 contracts. So you can't really comfortably go below 6,000 unrealized in the account when you take maximum contracts. So let me open up 6 contracts, but I have to go into profit. I can't go into loss first. So it's got to be one of those trades where it works and I don't go into negative, and then it will be fine. So with $6,000, you probably would want to trade 4 contracts at most. I mean, that's even like risky, but I started with 4,000 and I traded between 1 to 2 contracts and I got it to 6,000. Now the commissions are same exact as on Apex. It's $4 for the round trip. So it's $2 each way. It's overnight, it's different, yes. Overnight, you don't want to trade futures overnight. But as soon as you drop under 6K, you'll liquidate one, exactly. There was one day when you traded like 5 contracts, now on the live account. Definitely not on the live account, no. The most I ever took on the live account was probably 3 contracts. I added to the trade. So when I added, I made like 30 points on the ad. PC question, what was it? So I didn't build my PC for trading. I built my PC for gaming. Okay? I game, I edit videos, and I stream. A lot different than what's needed for just trading. Just trading, you just need a decent PC. You don't need anything crazy. I spoiled myself 2 years ago for my birthday, or a year and a half ago for my birthday. And I bought a pre-built PC without a graphics card, and I bought myself a graphics card. But I do have some issues with it, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. The computer does freeze sometimes if I use the streaming software and I move something too fast. I don't know, it's awkward. And then my Call of Duty game crashes with DirectX error. I don't know what that is, but it crashes. So I think that I'm gonna purchase a new computer soon, like a 4090, custom built PC. Let's see. Let's go to CLX Gaming. See how much a nice PC costs. Like all in, like the best computer they have. I would love a liquid cooled PC actually. Come on, where's like the good PCs? I want what's the most expensive PC? 9. Damn, we could buy a PC for 7,000. The hell? Or is it fully liquid cooled? Oh, it doesn't have good reviews. Wait, maybe my next PC will be liquid cooled. This. Oh, Rat Poker. 80% is very good. What? DirectX is a COD editor, so maybe I should reinstall COD. I see that scaling micros is now available on Apex. What do you mean? You could scale micros? Video on YouTube to fix, okay. Building PCs is good until it starts breaking, and then you don't know if you did something wrong, or I know it's simple, but I've built a few PCs. I can't make the wire management as nice as they do, and I don't know. I'm only gonna buy one like maybe in the summertime. So I wouldn't mind something like this instead. But like, I like those graphics cards when they come like naked like that. That's like the, I don't know what you call it, but like when you buy on your own, it looks nicer. That's not enough fans in this computer for this. i9 4090. I mean, that's as good of a computer as it gets, but I just feel like there's not enough cooling in it. And the ugly case, 2 fans. I don't know. They put some ugly cases in those PCs. No, I wouldn't get i5. I would get i9. They don't charge that much to build PCs though. It's like $200-300. I like those because I'm gonna redo my setup eventually. I really want to use I bought a camera and I don't use it because my mess here is just not pretty enough. I want it to look pretty, and I'm gonna have a second camera like shooting into the setup. I did it one time. For one of the videos. All right, guys, it's 9 o'clock. 2 hour stream is coming to an end. I could go all night. I'm thinking about doing something like that for 15,000 subscribers. Not a 15-hour stream, but maybe like a 12-hour stream. Getting close. All right, guys, any last minute questions? I definitely want to get some good night of sleep and get back to it. I might be live tomorrow earlier than usual because I don't know what my plan is. I haven't thought about my plan for this week. But I requested a 30K payout, and then next payout is just a week away. It's crazy how fast these payouts come, guys. I can't even keep up. And people complain, it's like, oh, it takes so long to get a payout. I'm like, I can't even keep up with these payouts. Like it's coming too soon. I gotta make like $1,500 this week per account, so $300 per day at least to get to payout on the 1st, which is not gonna happen. Damn. It's gonna be tough to get a payout. I guess I have till the 5th though. I think I'm gonna use it. We have 9 days left till payout, so I might just use the whole 9 days. And then from the 5th, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But then if I request the payout on the 5th, then I have only 10 days for the next payout. So the 4th would be optimal. Yeah, I'm not counting this Friday. Friday's closed. Does Apex lose money when traders are consistently profitable? They lose money when you take money out, but they don't lose money overall. But yeah. But yeah, like I'm gonna watch this video when I get off, and I don't even know what it is, but I like watching his content.
A powerful trading formula. Guys, I will tell you, this formula changed my trading life. Now, I didn't get it from anywhere. It just evolved through my search for truth. The same 8 steps every single time. Let's cover these 8 steps. First, there is state. All right, try to get these words down. Take a snapshot of the screen. This is your presentation. You can do anything with this you want. You can share it. You can take a snapshot. You can take a photo. This is yours, okay? State, position, power, entry, stop, color change, which we just talked about, profit take, let it ride, okay? State, we actually touched upon state, but we're going to do it again. Position, we're going to touch upon power. We already talked about power bar, define the state. Then we're going to wait. Narrow state is when your 20 and your 200 are relatively close together. All right, let me do this in different colors. So it's when your 200 and your 20 are relatively close together and they're relatively flat. That is your narrow state. So they're relatively close. Guys, don't be too specific with this. It's relative, okay? So relatively close together and relatively flat. A wide state is when, I'm going to do this with black here, is when your 20 period moving average has separated far away from your 20 period moving average, from your 200 period moving average. So here's your narrow state. Narrow.
Little concept like
here
that.
Here is your wide state. And here is your trending state. Okay, so you've got these three states, right? Narrow, tight, narrow state. Trending state leads to wide state, and guess what happens? Eventually, we go back and repeat. This is all the market ever does. Narrow, trend, wide, wide, trend, narrow, repeat. Narrow, trend up, wide, wide, trend down, narrow, repeat. And you can go this way as well. Narrow, trend down, wide, wide, trend up, narrow, repeat. Now, guys, take a snapshot of this because I am here to tell you that the market can do absolutely nothing else except repeat this over and over and over again. And all you have to do is be able to identify which one of the three states am I in? Am I in a narrow state? Am I in the trending state? Am I in the wide state? Am I in the trending state up or am I in the trending state down? All right. Am I in the wide state from above or am I in the wide state from below? Am I in the trending state to the upside from below or am I in the trending state from the downside from above or the downside from below?
But this is something I'm gonna watch when it's a very interesting concept, but you can't you can't put too much emphasis on it, but this is wide. This is the trending that he's talking about. So these are the moving averages that I use as well. And I know he likes the 2-minute chart, so let's see what it looks like on the 2-minute. So on the 2-minute, it's more tight. Like 200 is flat. But yeah, I'm gonna head out. Here's a video. He's got some good concepts. I mean, not that I used all of it, but you could learn some stuff from him for sure. All right, guys. All right, guys, I'm gonna head out. It's 9 o'clock. 2-hour stream was fine. I got on a little late, but still got 2 hours. And usually I'm gonna be live 6 to 8 p.m. But next week is Easter, so I might not be on. I'll see what time I'm done with the family stuff. The following weekend, I'll join live on my phone as I'm driving down to the racetrack. So I'm going to the track April 7th. Sunday night. So I'll join live from my car. And then April 14th, I know I'm working. So my season starts in 2 weeks. So I'm going to be crazy busy with work. So we'll see how the Sunday schedule is going to go from today. But we'll try to make it happen. It just might not be as regular. I wanted to make it as regular as possible for March. But now Unfortunately, I still have some bookings for Sunday, but that's going to stop because after May, I'm not booking any small parties. And most weddings are not happening on the Sunday. If it's a wedding, that's fine. But I'm not booking a christening. I'm not booking a birthday party or anniversary or any non-wedding event on any day, especially on the Sunday. I want Sundays off. And yeah, like I said earlier in the beginning of the stream, trading is becoming my main thing. DJing is becoming my part-time. So I gotta adjust accordingly, and also I work my ass off all the time, so I want to have some. If I'm gonna be making this kind of money, I want to enjoy it a little bit. All right, guys, I'm gonna head out and have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow on stream, nice and early. ORB is my main job. Yeah, ORB pays the bills. ORB is an amazing trade. All right, guys, take care and keep studying, get some rest, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for a fresh week before payouts. More payouts coming soon. Let's get it. Got to cross 150K, obviously, by April 5th. All right, guys, take care.